Hey guys, Blazie here, and welcome to my first review of the year, starting off with the third and final season of The Lion Guard. I finally got around to finishing it, so let's get into it. Roll the intro. So we left off with Scar building his army and Khan building up his. So the first episode is another hour-long special with the battle for the Pride Lands. This was a pretty good start to the series. It opens off with Lion Guard having to fight back the Outlanders, and then through Song talking about seasons changing, maybe finally they're out of the dry season, which is a running thing in the show for some reason. So through the song, Kion and the others are now older, and it's like, damn, you're looking good.
Hi.
So yeah, Kion is looking really cool. I like the teenage look he has here. Bungo looks maybe a little bigger, Furry and Ono look the same, but then Bestie has a little bit more messy hair, like a typical teenager would. So I don't say this as much as I need to when doing reviews, so I'll remember for the rest of the year, so there will be spoilers. Since this is the last season, I feel like that's important to say. If you are interested in watching this show, I say do so. I honestly do. That's it for spoiler warning though. Leave now or else you've been warned. So in the previous season, Junjo was starting to question if he was on the wrong side, and Scar overhears Junjo questioning things, so he sets up a plan. During the night while everyone is sleeping in the Pride Lands, the hyenas make their way in and end up getting into the Lion Guard's hideout, but then they are blocked in by fire and only Junjo managed to make it out. Scar has set up another team to start attacking, setting fire to the Pride Lands without telling the hyenas. His plan was to basically get rid of them at that moment, and Junjo realizes this and understands, oh shit, Scar, bad guy, and being bad is wrong. Who knew, right? He is very right, you know, don't be bad. So he finds Sashiri to help out his friends and the Lion Guard. They make it out, the Pride Lands is set alight, and we get this very cool image of Scar over the Pride Lands. I really do like how he looks in this show. So then they figure out this has to end, and so prepare for a full attack on Scar and his baddies. But before this as well, we get some backstory into Scar's past. We get this through Song. That is pretty catchy, I have to admit. Now this is really cool. For one thing, look how damn cute they made him. The animation just makes him so damn cute. I love him. But if you notice as well, he doesn't have the scar here. Yes, this song explains how he got his scar. And this is canon to the world, so this is how he got his scar. Now, if you remember, Scar himself had the war. He was a leader of the Lion Guard himself before the first movie. But does mention he preferred doing things himself and being alone, even though he does have a team, showing that Scar did think highly of himself and saw himself as strong. So then a strange lion appears and comes up to him, basically saying the most powerful should be king, and with Scar's war and such, they could rule, and Scar found it intriguing. But the lion had his own plan. He took him to the Outlands where Scar is attacked by a snake, and that's what gives him his scar. The lion says he will heal the snake's venom if he does what he wants him to do, so tricking him into helping him. Instead though, Scar rages and, as the song goes, destroys them instead. AKA kills them. Dark, dude. Damn. He goes back to Mufasa thinking he'll be praised for getting rid of an evil lion. Instead, Mufasa just nicknames him Scar, and that's the moment he knew Mufasa shouldn't be king. So he wants to get his Lion Guard to take over with him, but they don't want to do it. So he kills them and loses the power of a war from using it in rage, which has been said in the first season. So yeah, we finally learned how Scar got his scar. Now, it's been done in a series of books, but those aren't canon, nor were written by Disney staff or anything like that. So they're essentially fan fiction. So this here is canon, the way he got it. And I don't mind it. I honestly don't, because it just adds more to his character that he was this overconfident leader of a guard and someone took advantage of him and wanted his power. And so he killed them and then killed his guard when they did want to go after Mufasa. And it just brings about much more character to him. And to me, explains pretty much everything about Scar. That he becomes this weak, fragile lion that doesn't fight. Why? Because he had the war. He didn't need to train his body. And then losing it, his guard, he became a nobody without any strength at all. He became an outcast in the world. So that to me really does explain why. It explains why he's like that in the movie we see. Now, okay, I don't know if like Mufasa knows he killed his lions. That's the only part that's not clear. and does kind of annoy me because I really want to know that, like, did he know that, or did he just, or did Scar, obviously Scar being Scar would make up something that they died in a mission or something like that, or like maybe he buried them under rocks or something like that afterwards. You know, he would come up with something. So yeah, okay, I'll go with that then. Like, it's not very clear, but I'm gonna go with that. Scar comes up with an idea. So the movie goes on, but Scar has his own plan for the guard as they fight their way into the volcano, only for it to be a trap, and Scar makes Ushari the snake jump at Kion, giving Kion a pretty wicked looking scar. And Scar here does get pretty evil, saying, "Now we are the same," and starts singing a song Jaziri did. It does become a running thing in this season. That's Sisi Nasawa, which means we are all the same. And so he starts singing that, saying that him and Kion are now the same. But when Kion goes to use the war on him, he finds he's having trouble thinking and controlling himself. Ushari explained his venom has that kind of power. So this also explains a little more on Scar and how like maybe the poison with him made him more evil, or at least made his judgment not so good. As Scar was already up himself, so when he lost control, you know, but Kion managed to gain control and calls the Lions from the past to deal with Scar for the final time. He basically calls down Wayne to come down into the volcano. But then Ushari attacks Kion, but Bungo manages to get to Ushari first, and the two tumble down into the fire. Oh no, managing to fly down and grab Bungo, but Ushari, bloop, he went right down into lava. Yeah, he dead. Boy, this show is getting dark. So yeah, all is well, but not quite. Ono has damaged his eyesight from the smog of a volcano and can barely see what's in front of him now, and Kion is still suffering the effects of the poison, and as they return home, Bungo starts annoying him, as he usually does, to the point he uses the war and sends him flying. He's okay, of course. So to figure out what's going on, they return to Rafiki. Ono learns he may never get his eyesight back from how badly damaged they are, and that the poison with Kion will affect his judgment from what's right and what's wrong. He will not know the difference, his anger will grow, and he may hurt his friends if he's not careful. So him and Ono only have one choice, to go to the Tree of Life. Yeah, that's a thing. So the Tree of Life is a spiritual place far away from Pride Lands that can heal him and Ono from their injuries, though with Ono being the keenest of sight no more, they instead get Unga to help out, who we have seen in a previous episode and has helped out with the battle. So now she becomes the key to the site, and it's sad, like, Ono is no longer a member. But screw the rules, Kion makes him the smartest of the guard, making 6 members of the guard instead of the attended 5. So we do have, like, little flowers Kion eats to help calm him down, which becomes a big thing in the show where they have to go find more. So yeah, that becomes like a big thing, it's just trying to keep him calm. So Verm and Makini, who can help show the way, as she has been there before, heads off, leaving the Pride Lands behind them, and this is what the rest of the season is about. Helping to heal Kion before he becomes evil like Scar. I really like this idea though, of them leaving the Pride Lands and seeing new locations and new characters. It also helps explain why Kion is around in the second movie. They figured out a way. So good job there. Because yeah, now he heads off, and Nala says, "I hope you'll be home in time for Kiara's first hunt," which is the start of like the time skip in the second movie. So again, I'm excited. What's a great start to the show. The problem I have though, it's okay. I like that they had a lot of these African animals showing all these different species. So okay, what will be outside the Pride Lands then? Well, apparently by the 3rd episode they end up in Japan. Because there's snow monkeys only found in Japan. And they do this a few times in the show now, showing off all kinds of animal species that are not native or even just nowhere near found Africa. Now, okay, this could simply just not be Africa, like that we know of. That's fair enough, it's its own world and its own animals. But really, a species only found in Japan? And this again happens a lot, and it just really irks me when they were doing so well. But yeah, this happens, and it's just weird. But really, besides that glaring off thing, I like the show dealing with Kion's anger and stress. There were really some funny moments here and there with it, with like a bunch of like flamingos coming in like a lake. They're all relaxing in, and he's just like floating around. But also all these like flamingos come in, and they're like hella like party flamingos basically, and always like teenage girls. Like, oh my god, we're so excited to go off to the migration thing. Oh, I don't know, whatever flamingos do. Apparently, whatever. And you just see him just kind of just floating around, and it's like, oh, what's going on? And then, like, you know, it's just like, what's going on? It's like, no, close your eyes, just relax, nothing's going on. No, a bunch of flamingos around us, just relax. They do some funny things here and there with it. I love Furry in this season too, surprisingly. She basically becomes a second leader, sometimes a leader of a guard. Because of how Kion is, she really tries to help him all the time and really takes charge. I really liked her and Kion's friendship in it. Hell, they were setting him up quite a bit compared to... I'll get there. Let me get there. So along the way, they bump into Makucha, who has been a leopard we have seen here and there in the show. Well, now he is a big villain in this season. Hearing that the Tree of Life has exotic animals that he can munch down on. And along the way, they also bump into a snow leopard, a Komodo dragon, and a bitterwong, aka a bear cat. These four make up the villains of the show who want to get at the Lion Guard and follow them to the Tree of Life. Sadly, they know Junja, who I freaking love. I love those guys. These guys are just so boring and not very likable or really just anything. I didn't care for them at all. That's a real shame. Because yeah, I like Junja and his crew and some of the other recurring villains we got in the first two seasons. But these guys just don't go well together, and don't whiff off each other or really anything. They're not a good pair. So I do have some major issues with this season, but at the same time, it's still pretty well written. Everything with Kion is really well done, and just sad with him dealing with anger and stress, and a part of that was Scar saying we are the same. So now Kion just doesn't want that. But with the poison affecting his judgment, it's a little all over the place with him. And I really like that. You know, maybe he will turn out to be Scar, maybe not. Scar has really gotten to him, and I like that. That's how Scar works as a villain, because he's smart like that. So even though Scar is now gone and defeated, he's still there in Kion. Like, he doesn't talk to Mufasa at all about, like, fears of him now having a Scar too. And then new character Unga is pretty gay. She is just such a moody eagle, but a good friend. Like, she has two catchphrases. Her Swahili one, Ongalenga, which I think means like to the skies or something like that. And then just, yep. She says that all the time, and it makes me chuckle as she just doesn't really care. Just like, wow, thanks for saving me. Yep. Like, I don't know, she's actually kind of great. I actually kind of really dig her. And then with Ono being injured, he gets carried around by Makini most of the time if danger happens, because he is too scared to fly without his eyesight, which, I mean, fair enough. And then each episode dealing with Kion and everything, I do like. I like the drama and the tension here. Like, I do. I just have issues with the villains and the animals within the episodes, as I mentioned. They still have a song in every episode, which ranges from good to bad to boring. We got a love interest with Furry, who I actually do like. I like his accent, which fits well with his character. And considering how much I'm liking Furry in this season, I'm okay with this. She deserves it. But surprisingly, by episode 11 of 19, they have reached the Tree of Life already. Or at least just the outside of it, where they meet the Night Pride. A group of lions whose sworn duty is to protect the Tree of Life, led by Rani, the future queen of the land. They're basically like the Lion Guard, but Kion basically destroyed the pathway into the Tree of Life because of his war and anger, so the Night Pride think of them as enemies at first, and oh man. Rani is such... she doesn't trust Kion or the Guard at all, and really hates on them. Yeah, she's protecting the Tree of Life, but even after the Guard fixed up the place... Like, they fixed it up out of sheer kindness. They didn't have to, but Kion knew they did wrong, so it's like, okay, let's clean up this place, and then we'll leave. But after all that, she still hates on them, especially Kion. But eventually they managed to convince them, and so they all go to the Tree of Life. Here there are all these kinds of exotic animals, and this is fine. This area, to me, this, like, Tree of Life area, is fine because they come here for healing and all this kind of stuff. So animals around the world would come here. That's fine. It was just when they were traveling, you know, it doesn't make sense. But here, to me, it's fine. And then more importantly is an old lioness inside the tree that could use the tree to heal. She also explains how this place is the origin of the war. So she heals Ono's eyesight almost perfectly. He will never have the eyesight he once had. Which is just really sad to me, as I loved Ono. But now they call him Ono the Insight, for how smart he is and an understanding of the world. Oh gosh. But with Kion though, it's a little bit strange and different. They basically just need him to relax. So he goes off with one of the other lions to basically just learn to relax and take his time. AKA, not doing anything about the poison, but it does take a mud bath, if anything, so maybe that did something. Maybe. It's not very well explained, but basically came down to Kion realizing he isn't Scar. He never will be Scar. He just needs to clear his mind and understand that. I think basically Scar just really got to him. Yes, at first the poison really affected him. And maybe it's like one of those things where you just don't move around a lot and it won't make it worse. But Kion is still on the side of good. You know, he is still a good person. So it's not going to affect him the same way as it affected Scar. And so I think as well, you know, like, I think they did do a couple little things, like the little plants he ate probably helped it. And all that, and then a big part of it now was just realizing he's not Scar. You know, he just needs to relax. Also here is a female honey badger, aka female Bunga. And oh man, she is just like Bunga in every way and stink even more than he does. So yeah, they're pairing people in this one. But as well, talking about Bunga, I didn't like him in this season. He just irks me how stupid he was in this one. And how annoying and just everything like that he was. Just like, he says things like, oh, Kion is like Scar now. Hey, you think Kion might become evil? Hey, Kion, use your war. When he can't because of his stress. Bunga is just so damn oblivious in this season of how horrible he is being. So many times the others tell him off, and he still doesn't get it. I understand that's his character, but it gets really bad in the season. And I really wish they did like a lesson here to kids of not to pry and be an asshole. I'm sorry, but he is so bad in this season. But yes, anyway, as well. Okay, so Wani and Kion don't get along very well at all. She isn't very nice to him until one scene. Now, this was interesting at the start of the episode. It starts with a warning to children saying this episode deals with the circle of life. It can be intense for young viewers. So naturally, I'm all in. Hells yeah, bring on some murder and mystery. Bring on the lions, whipping animals to shreds. Of course, that's not what happens. Basically, the old lioness has reached her end of the journey in the circle of life. Everyone comes to see her to say farewell before she passes away and Rani becomes the new queen. I will say they do handle this episode very well. To a point I felt like crying even. And I didn't care about Night Pride, but they did do it really well. And I have a very nice moment between Wani and Kion just sitting there talking about the lioness and Wani maybe not being able to be queen. Again, it is a really nice moment between the two, and then Kion goes and talks to Mufasa for the first time, and he's just like, you dummy, you can talk to me anytime. He didn't say that, but he wanted to. And at the end of the episode, Wani becomes queen, and Bikini does the whole "it is time" thing. It gives her a blue mark on top of her head. That's there for the rest of the season. It bugged the crap out of me. Does she never bathe or wash her face or anything? Why is it still there at the end of the season? One of those things are just actually, you know, whatever. So they had this nice moment, but by the next episode, she's back to telling the guard, you know, to get out of the way and let them do their jobs. In the end, though, since they are the Night Pride, they protect the night, while then the Lion Guard protect the day. From who? Those four villains I mentioned. They have followed Kion to the Tree of Life, and they're trying to attack in each episode now, and it gets old fast from how pathetic they are. But the Bearcat is the only one that's like smart and figures out a different way to attack them, like doing it, like during them when they're basically tired, when they're switching up. You know, when one's just woken up, the other's going to sleep, you know. Anyway, though, by the second to last episode, Wani is suddenly all over Kion. Like, hey, we make a great team. And then it's like, a great queen needs a great king. God damn, you a subtle girl. So subtle. You might as well just pounce him right there and there with how subtle you are. It does come out of nowhere. And that's why I hate most about this season is the love between Rani and Kion. It's horrible. Again, they were setting up Furry in here way much more. It like had way much more interaction. It's just like the way they did it was so much more better. Hell, Jasiri and Kion had more going for them. Freaking Junja and Kion had more going. I do not like this pairing one bit. I get he has to be with his own species, but I do not like Rani. She has moments where she is nice, but she just isn't. And as I said, it comes out of nowhere that she suddenly wants Kion as a king. Like again, not even subtle of how you should stay here. Just hey, you should stay here and be mine. It really sucks. Hell, I like Furry and Assad pairing so much more, and he was like in one episode. Just that one episode was enough for me to pair up those two. But Rani and Kion, just no. So it continues. Kion ends up talking to Ascari, very first lion to get the war, who he then learns from how to control it and use even more powers of it. Eventually Kion is finally all healed, though the scar is permanent, and so they're thinking about going back to the Pride Lands now, when suddenly Assad shows up along with Junja and Jasiri. How they found their way to the Tree of Life, I don't know. Sure, Assad could show them most of the way because he travels around, he's cheetah, he runs around everywhere. But how Junja and Jasiri even made it like a quarter of the way, I don't know. Especially Junja. But then they mentioned that Zira is going to be attacking the Pride Lands, Zira being the baddie from the second movie. So well shit, now they have to go home, which is convenient because they were just talking about it. So they make their way back. Assad knows a shortcut. Somehow they reach home within a day, even though it took like several episodes. But using Kion's new war powers, they're able to get home much quicker by the end of the episode. And I get it, it's showing like how much more better he is with his powers and the whole team working together. But that's still ridiculous. So the last episode, they're back in the Pride Lands where they are attacked by Vitani, Zira's kid, and some other lions. Here she is, like the one with the mark of evil is mine. Bitch, please, Kofu has the same mark. You know it's not evil. But she also says what the Lion Guards say. Lion Guard till the Pride Lands end, Lion Guard defend. Wait, what? What the hell is going on? Also, Vitani is voiced by the actress that voiced the cub version of her in The Lion King too. That's really cool. I like that. She doesn't voice the adult version, just the cub version, but now here she is voicing the adult version, and that's cool. I like it. But well, turns out Zira has met her end by the time the guard arrived, and all was well, and they made Vitani the new leader of the Lion Guard. But it's like, what the actual hell? Did they assume Kion just died or something? I understand they needed help and just to have a guard or something, But why did they say anything to Vitani that, yeah, it's just temporary or something? Keep an eye out for my son while you're at it, okay? It's kind of bad writing that felt washed, because now they have a tournament as to who is the best Lion Guard. Oh, also Kofu is voiced by the actor that did him in the movie as well, so that's also pretty cool, since he was has only one line of dialogue in this. Also just love how everyone is greeting Kion, everyone's so happy to see the guard, the families come to see them, and Rafiki goes to Simba, it's great to come home to the Pride Lands, isn't it? Then it hits him with his stick, and Simba's just so galaxy like, yeah. Damn it, Rafiki. That's really funny. Great little callback to the original movie. So anyway, they have a tournament, which was so dumb. Because first, it is up against Bestie the Hippo and one of the lions in a test of strength. Moving a walk with an elephant on it. No way in hell a lion's gonna do that, right? But guess what? She does. Because Bestie starts to get sunburned and has to run off to cool himself down in the mud and loses because of it. Now, this has happened before, as it's just common knowledge really, as Ono would say, that hippos can get sunburned if they don't cool themselves off and all that and stay in the shade and in the mud, in the water, and all that kind of stuff. But never has it happened so suddenly like this. This was just so stupid. Like, it has happened in the show before, but never like this. It's stupid. It's really bad writing. Next is Furry in a way as she wins, thank God. Third is Unger in a dark cave looking for something, but she can't see in the dark compared to the lion, so lion wins. Now this is stupid. In a sense, basically Vitani's lion got to choose what to do here. And well, of course Unger will lose. But how about flying up high and seeing all their surroundings? A lion can't do that. No, she is still the keenest of sight to me. She just can't see in the dark. Yeah, sure, fair. I'm pretty sure all lions can, so there shouldn't just be like one specific lion that's the keenest of sight, if that's what they do. You know, if they can spot things in the dark. It's stupid because then, yeah, it makes... It's one of those stupid little things, you know. Next is Bravery of Bunga, and he wins, and then it's up to Kion and Vitani in a test of the most fiercest. But Kion sees that Vitani is not afraid at all to fight Kion in a martial dano, even though she doesn't have the war power. So then Kion gives up and lets them win. And then he gives the war to Vitani. So now she becomes a true leader of the Lion Guard with her own war power. But then Iskari comes in saying basically that you've done well, but another place could use the war too. So then him and his Lion Guard return to the Tree of Life, where he becomes king alongside Rani, and Vitani protects the Pride Lands from now on, and that's how it ends. So overall, I did like this season. I have issues here and there. I like that they found a way to not have him around during a second movie timeline, and it works. To add some kind of drama and tension, and kind of give Kion a little bit more depth and personality to him. I really like him and Furry in this season, but I did like the bad guys, but I did like the overall story. It's very much a mixed bag, but I do feel sad that this is it. I would really like more, because overall, I really liked this show. I was glad I watched it. I don't think it does anything to ruin the Lion King franchise, which I guess is the most important thing in the end. My biggest complaint is the handling of Kion and Rani. I don't like that pairing. I don't think it works. I feel like it was really washed. It's just awful, but that's just me. So all in all, I think I will give this season a solid score of 7 out of 10 foxes. It's really hard because I did enjoy it. I enjoyed it a lot. I just started getting very picky, so I was thinking a 6, but at the same time, I enjoyed the story, and for that I give it an extra point. It was also darker as well. It dealt with some serious themes here and there, dealing with death and love, and it all handled it very well, I have to say. Overall as well, I really liked the show. Would I watch it again? Honestly, yeah, I would. I would probably put this on in the background while doing other things, and just skip past some of the songs, but only some, because there are some good ones there. I like Junja in this game, I like the Lion Guard characters, no problem there at all, besides maybe Bunga. I do think the show matured with its audience in Season 3. It wasn't full of, like, kids show tropes, I guess you can say. Though it is in messages here and there, which it never really did too much of, but at the same time, oh yeah, it did. So overall, I also give The Lion Guard, just in general, the whole series, a solid 7 out of 10 foxes as well. I do recommend it. I do realise it's not for everyone, but I for one really enjoyed it, and if you're a fan of The Lion King, you might too. Or you might think it's beyond stupid. But hey, that's just your opinion, and this is mine. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, give it a like, and subscribe to our channel, because I love you if you do. Let me know in the comments what you think of The Lion Guard, if you've watched the show, and like, let me know what you think of Rani and Kion's relationship, because I'm interested to see what other people think of it. Alright guys, that's it for now. This fox says, be who you want to be. Alright guys, bye for now. Ow, ow.